All right, 5:31, go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll do a roll call to determine quorum.
Mike Cannon, President.
Dan Maddox, present.
Steve Denny here.
Lisa Floyd, present. Okay, quorum is determined. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the last meeting minutes on June 12th. Are there any questions or comments or things to discuss? Yeah, hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes.
Thank you. All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, moving on. No old business to discuss. So item 5, we have two pieces of new business to discuss today. Scott, why don't we kick off Dodd property?
And I'll turn that over to council. We could bring up the
Sure.
map of the map.
Which one would be the best?
Dog project timeline information.
Whoa. Fun.
Just go for that straight
Don't
there.
know what happened.
Waterworks. Hit the back button up by the search.
I know.
Same. Jacob and I were dealing with this weekend.
Okay.
Would you like for me to go ahead and get started?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, good afternoon, commission members. So you've received resolution 2025-04, which relates to authorizing the transfer of certain real estate that we're gonna have. It's in the package, it's in the exhibit, but you'll be able to hopefully be able to see it on the screen. It really goes back to last year. There was a unique opportunity that the town's purchasing agents came to have in the form of being able to purchase a stage from Windera Farms in exchange for a certain amount of cash, as well as in this particular parcel that is about 0.263 acres. And so under Indiana statute, the town's purchasing agents are the town council, and then also the town manager and then the permanent employees. So town members worked through this. It was then effectuated that there was a deed that was issued that carved out this particular parcel. Let's see, let me refer to the resolution because I think it's all set out in here. Probably more easily viewed.
What is that labeled so I can click on it?
Well, this is a dog project timeline dash information. It's number 2.
So if you look at exhibit B in your resolution, there's at least in my copy, hopefully yours too, there's a really good cover or colored depiction of the 0.263 acres. So when talking and working with the town staff, what we ultimately discovered is that the town of Pendleton didn't own this property. Rather, years ago, this was owned by the Redevelopment Commission for the purposes of economic development. So one of the things that is in this resolution is doing the deed and to issue the appropriate authority will be the Redevelopment Commission. And that's what this happens. It's fairly common. We would call it like a scrivener's error. And so we clean that piece of it up. And then if this commission is agreeable, then part of the transaction with Windera Farms is to convey this particular parcel, which I know representatives from the town can attest to. This, after for certain reasons of economic development, this particular parcel in essence is not usable for the Redevelopment Commission. It's landlocked basically, as you can see. And so it became very attractive to Windera Farms. And again, there's a provision under Indiana code that allows for the town to do certain things if it provides like a unique opportunity and significant savings to the town. And that's where the transaction essentially occurred, and it allowed the town to basically be able to use the stage for hopefully economic development purposes and to be able to attract people to the town and to be able to, again, see the benefits of these type of events that could be used. So this resolution memorializes this process. It goes through the statutory process. One of Again, one of the actions here is to authorize the corrective deed and to the president or any officer of the commission to be able to execute it. And the second would then be to issue a deed to Windera Farms. And there's one caveat in there that's in the finding that all of this will be subject to the town council to approve this. And so that is an agenda item that's going to be on a special meeting at 7 o'clock for the town council. So I'm happy to answer any questions. That's really the statutory process that you have. I'm sure Scott, Denise, or Anna Rose could go through the other
And
one.
part of that process, we had two appraisals on this, so we're taking the average of the two to determine value.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, there were two appraisals, and then there's a mechanism in the code. So in essence, the average of it is $9,250. We also, again, I know others can talk about it, but they deem this to be a fair value from it, and that is all, set forth in here in the resolution by statute.
And how's the value being determined on the mobile trailer, the stage?
Well, I'll be happy to.
Yeah.
So, myself and the building inspector who formed a pretty good relationship with Don. We did a lot of background research and like really just looking at what these products sailed for. Some of them weren't necessarily, the average that we had kind of come up with was usually a little bit higher than what Don was offering it to us for, which was $50,000. Most of the ones we found were anywhere from 52 to 66. 55, 56, that's 66-ish. So it was a pretty good deal for the model year that it is and the shape that it's in and the fact that it's coming from a stage line like authorized, promoter. So, we weren't worried about it being a lemon or anything like that. But that's how we had determined kind of what the value would be and what Dodd was offering it to us for. So it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. And I think we've used it, how many times
I
now?
don't know, once for Park Fest, I
Yeah.
don't know after that.
Didn't we use it for Fourth of the
July,
Falls last year, both years? Yeah,
It's an amazing piece of equipment.
yeah.
And the property, just a little bit of background, it was probably cut out when they were developing the park in the planning stages. They thought it would be used for utilities, because here's the water tower, right? And then this is a large transmission line for both water and, it also has overhead electricity. This is our main substation right here. It's really our only one. We ran some space off of Dude out by the elementary school. So it doesn't need to be used. Obviously, the road was, and all the utilities with that. And so,
And Dodd's intent is just for extra storage for their
Yeah.
ever growing inventory, isn't it?
Yep.
So just mechanically, it has to go to town council because the value exceeds the parcel value?
Well, can you explain that part?
Yeah,
They have to accept it.
yeah, ultimately, the town being the purchasing agent and by statute, will have to basically accept the whole transaction and authorize this commission to be able to convey it.
To execute on that.
Yeah, under the statutory framework that we went in. And that's not always the case with the redevelopment commission.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was,
Yeah, this way it's, we,
just want to understand that.
right, so this, again, what was done was through the purchasing agent of the town.
Mhm.
And so when it was later subsequently determined that the commission actually owned the real estate, that's why we're going under this track as opposed to just the redevelopment. The commission may have, if you wanted to do something in a different manner, we would set it up probably a little different from the beginning, but that's why we're operating.
What's the connection with Dodd Technology and with Vera Farms?
It's their LLC.
LLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they own that big dark purple property there and all the light purple parcels to the north of them and signage building. So that's where, potential expansion of structures and storage and things like that would go, but I don't really know if it's, family name or something, but it's just their name on the property card.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I was wondering why there were two different
Yeah.
things going on. Okay.
not to overcomplicate this, but I did see that email there. So what's the deal with the town that already paid 40,000 towards the stage? How does that affect this transaction here?
Well, it goes again to the purpose of why we're operating under this statutory process, that the town was operating through its purchasing agent's authority and ability. It would have, we could have done it all at the town council level had the town of Pendleton owned the property.
Mhm.
But and so that was done as part of the original transaction. I don't know the exact timing last year, but it was that, and what we're trying to do here is to convey the agreement with Windare Farms to the Dodds.
Yeah.
And to be able to convey the remaining piece of what was agreed to with the stage, because as was discussed, that the town has the stage right now. So this is an open issue.
Yeah.
That
Cleaning that up.
would complete and then memorialize the entire transaction.
So this agreement was made with the company or the LLC that the town would receive the stage pending approval, also approval from the RDC about that. Like, so they went ahead and gave the stage up.
At the time, we didn't realize that the plant was owned by the RDC and not the town.
Okay.
It also wasn't its own parcel. Sometimes when like I've noticed it in other places, but like the business park. So that entire property where, we have the junkyard or whatever from the street department where they go and put stuff.
Oh,
Southeast.
Yeah,
yeah.
that area. So if you clicked on this, the property information was for both those, and they were not connected with, or, separated with their own parcel IDs. So that was then another process we had to go through to give it its own parcel ID, because we weren't gonna deed over 200 acres of land, which is what it said it was. So that was kind of another process that might have gotten lost in translation, who owned it or how it was supposed to be parceled up. When this whole area was platted back in 2001-ish. So that was a kind of another thing we had to get through with.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments regarding this resolution? All right, hearing none, do I hear a motion to approve Pendleton Redevelopment Commission, resolution, what's that, 2025-04?
Correct.
Motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further comment? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, resolution passes.
Don't need to sign this.
Okay, so next up on the agenda, we have Park Playground. Hi.
So my name is Sherry, and I'm the new park director over at Falls Park. I'm glad to be here tonight with you guys. Appreciate you taking the time to let me speak in behalf of Falls Park tonight. Before I talk about the funding, I wanted to thank you guys for an RDC for the funding that was already approved for pickleball. That project is underway, and we hope to have it complete by the end of September. So it's an exciting
It's
project.
looking good.
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
we're excited.
Is that by the pool?
It is. Oh, yeah, you have to go out there.
Yeah.
Asphalt is down and we're ready for the.
Oh, yay.
All right. So, but tonight I wanted to request some funding for our toddler playground that's gonna be over at Barnhart Field. And I did include a map for you guys to look at that. That is kind of
You
a
want that?
design.
You want that one or this? That's.
Oh, there it is. Yes. Didn't come out very good.
There
Oh,
we
there
go.
we go. So it's in the northeast corner, about 2,800 square feet in that area that the playground will be in. And we got a proposal from Play Pros, which is also attached in your meeting. And it came out to $70,319. So we looked for funding, and the first funding that we secured was through the Open Hearts, Open Purses, and that was $10,000. And then Lions Club came to us. They are looking for a project this year for their centennial. So they pledged to us $40,000 for this project. And we're really excited to have them on board and to have its dedication at the end of the playground being up. And so we hope to get that started here soon in the next couple weeks. We have a funding gap that we need to secure of $20,319. And that's why I'm here tonight. I did list the project, and if you look at the Play Pros proposal, kind of a breakdown of that $70,319. Although we were gifted the equipment, we still have to pay for installation, of course, and the surfacing. And one of the pieces of that equipment that was gifted has a base that's almost $10,000 that didn't come with that gift. So we need to do that as well, secure that. So this playground will benefit families who are just maybe leisurely walking with their families to Barnhart Field, but Barnhart Field is also well utilized by our soccer club, and we believe this will be an excellent place for families to gather in between games or for their younger ones who aren't playing soccer yet. So this gives a recreational option for our youngest neighbors, which we're excited about. We do believe this park is connected to the allocation area, and the project will benefit the people we serve. And it is a tangible project that we know will get well used and be well loved. Any questions I can answer?
I have a couple. Yes, thank you. First off, welcome
Thank you.
back.
Let's be back.
Position. Do you anticipate asking the RDC or the town for any more funds this calendar year?
No.
Do you have any time constraints, or is the Lions Club putting any deadlines or constraints on their grant?
Yes, they would like it to be installed by the end of fall so that they can be out there for a dedication.
But the $40,000 is not contingent on any other funding, realizing you have a gap.
Right, no,
Okay, it's not a match from
it's not.
Lions Club. Okay.
I had someone ask me, will there be fencing?
No. No, there'll be a surfacing and then the grassy area around it, which will lead to the sidewalk on that corner, that northeast corner.
I do have. So a legacy project kind of implies 100% funding. And I understand your constraints, and I'm sorry for the constraints that have been put upon you, being the park. I understand that. And 100% funding by the named organization or the entity that is calling this their legacy project. I also feel like it's the responsibility of that entity to help fill the gap, help you fund the gap. And to push it off onto you being the park. When I say you, I mean the park, not you, Sherry. I'm sorry, and I'm really disappointed that, again, you've been put in this position. I think this is the perfect opportunity for crowdfunding. And I also think that the Lions Club should partner with the park for crowdfunding. And so I'm gonna suggest that the Lions Club does do that. I would make a motion, or cede the floor to my fellow commission members, for more questions, but I would make a motion that RDC offers maximum of $10,000 in a match. After the rest of the balance is obtained. In other words, RDC money would be the last money. And again, I would strongly hope that the Lions Club would assist you in this crowdfunding project.
Any other comments, questions, response to Lisa's suggestion? Have there been other issues? Has a conversation occurred?
With the Lions
Yeah.
Club. I believe our last estimate was higher, and that's why there's the gap. We just went over that as far as our estimate with Play Pros. So that's what led us to that. RDC is a neutral investment into the project so that we can give full credit to our sponsorship.
Any other comments, questions? So Scott, do we have public comment at this point?
Yeah,
Or-
you can open up to public comment.
Yeah, we can absolutely. I know we have some folks here in the room. Floor is yours. Okay, hearing none. Lisa, is that your recommendation? Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Okay, so just to clarify, the motion is for $10,000 to be structured as a match, and to be the last funds in to complete the project.
That's correct.
Do I hear support for that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Do I hear, any other comments, questions? All right, hearing none, vote to approve the motion as Lisa's presented. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, Scott, is there anything else on the agenda you'd like to go over?
No, and thank you for squeezing this in.
It happened. Yeah, there we go. All right, well, hearing no other, pieces of business for tonight, we'll adjourn and the next meeting will be on Thursday, September 4th, 5:30.